Alright, before I take this makeup off and I start looking fucking ugly again, let me just tell you this about this situation that's going on right now, right? Everybody's doing suggestions, everybody talking about on what we should be doing, and it seems like, damn, we really don't know what to do though. All these suggestions, but it's like, fuck, if we get violent and everything, it's really not gonna solve nothing. It's actually gonna prove the opposition they point on what they try to prove about the minorities. We have done peaceful marches and it seems like it worked temporarily, but then they hit us with the psych. It didn't work, bitch. But one thing we could do for sure is let's pray. Let's pray to Jesus Christ. Let's pray to God. Let's pray to whoever the fuck you believe in, man. I love being American. I love being America. Like, come on now. We one of the most influential countries in the world. Like, there's countries that really don't fuck with us at all. And we gonna show them our weakness?
Well, racism is America's weakness. It's America's dirty, open secret. I mean, we act like as if America wasn't built upon racism, but you had European people coming to America, seeing that they were brown. Well, first of all, they had Cristobal Colon, or Christopher Columbus, come from Spain the same year, 1492, when the Moors, so-called black people, were conquered over in Spain. Moorish navigators taught him how to get over here. He saw that there were already quote-unquote black people here, and he had to have the shock of his life, like, dang, you ninjas are here too? Are you everywhere? Actually, at one point we were. So basically, Cristobal Colon came over here, and then, well, you know what happened. A bunch of people ended up getting killed. They were looking around like, hey, we're white, let's just take shit over and put people in chains and have them work for us for free. And of course, these people had to be competent, because you wouldn't go, thousands of miles away and bring the most ignorant people you could find to do hard work and intelligent work like build a nation. So obviously these people were not the savages that they claim that we are as so-called black people. But anyway, I had to talk about that another time, and I'm going to keep it really short and sweet as far as giving you guys some actual solutions to the pollution. If you really want to know what to do about the whole police brutality and racism thing with white people treating so-called white people treating so-called black people like absolute shit, and if you really want to know what you can do, I'm going to give you guys the blueprint, and I'm going to make a video where I speak in detail about these things, but we're going to keep it short and sweet right now. First of all, stop giving white people your money. Stop patronizing white businesses and funding your own oppression. That's number one. Stop giving them your money. Number two, stop giving them your body. Stop having sex with, kissing, dating, holding hands with, all that stuff with white people. If you don't want to suffer, that's one of the top things that you can do. Procreating with them and giving them your sexuality. Listen, once you got somebody's money and their sex, what else is there to give them? Once they've had relations with your wallet and your womb, do you really have anything else that you can give them? Oh, your children. That's right. You can sell them your children. If you want to talk about getting out of this oppressive system, yet you want them to teach your children, you want them to infiltrate their minds, yeah, you're not really ready to leave the plantation yet. So that's another thing. So the money, the sex/sexuality / intimacy. Next up is the school system, so-called education. Next up is your life force energy in general, your positive attention, your praise. I've seen videos of people dancing, and it'd be like two boys in high school, for example. I saw this one video of a black kid and a white kid. The black kid dances, does his thing. Everybody just looks at him like, okay, yeah, okay, cool, whoa, just vibing to the music or whatever was going on, And then when the white kid danced, he could barely begin to move before people went absolutely crazy celebrating this white boy dancing. It was like the greatest thing in the world to them. Oh my God, look at that white boy get busy. He literally barely began to move before the crowd shouted like they saw Christ himself. So your praise and your energy in general, acting like these people were deities, like they're special beings. A lot of black people have the tendency to go over the top with crediting white people just for everything. They think that every invention was white. They think that every positive thought, everything good or great had to have been because of a white person. If they see that something's good, like they go and visit a town that they've never been before, and they're like, wow, look at that big building, look at that structure, look at that thing, anything that they think is good or great, they're like, huh, white man did that. or white people did that, they automatically think that. Sometimes they don't say it out loud, sometimes they do. And even just saying things like, for example, somebody I know said, yeah, Asian people are smart. And I just sat back and I just said, now, that's really offensive. And I had to correct that person. I said, you know what? Asian people are not smart. Black people a lot of times automatically assume that Asian, white people, non-black people in general are smarter than them, better than them, stronger than them, faster than them, more intelligent. They can outthink them, can outdo them, can outlast them, can outsurvive them, you know? And this is just the way a lot of people think. You need to get out of that mode if you're there. Another thing is stop giving them your service. We can't work for white people. We can't be in their military. We cannot be a part of their defense force and be a part of their service, giving them our man hours, our working power. And next up is, of course, their economy. They have their own economy. And it's funny because if you go to a white business, and you might say, well, is an economy the same thing as money? Because I mentioned money at the beginning. Well, when I say economy, I mean not just money, but resources as well. For example, well, let me speak about money a little bit more first, since we're talking about economy. If you see, for example, a white business, you can go up in there and see the place potentially littered with black folks just walking around everywhere. Now, when it comes to a black business, you barely see white people patronize a black business unless they just happen to be stuck, not living, but are stuck in the neighborhood with black people. You don't generally see black people having white people, go out of their way to come support their business. Black people a lot of times assume that anything made by white, Asian, whatever, must be of a higher quality. So a lot of this comes down to self-worth and self-esteem, which are two different things, which I have to talk about in detail another time. Let me see, what's another thing? Oh, how could I forget? The church. The church is another thing. As far as if you really want change, if you really want this revolution, like essentially that's what Cardi B was talking about. If you really want a revolutionary change, you can't worship their God. You can't go to their church, pray to their white Jesus Christ, and give them your money. Once again, money, which is a huge part of it. A very, very, very large part of the system that is basically oppressing you is the fact that you're funding it, you're fueling it, you're giving it your energy, you're giving it your praise, you're giving it your worship, everything. You're giving it your all, everything you got, basically. You're literally creating the perfect storm to come and tear your house down and fall upon you. The next thing that I have to reference here is, if you really want a revolutionary difference, black people would have to start stockpiling food and weapons. And you might say, well, that sounds extreme. Are you talking some conspiracy shit? Let me tell you something. If you look at the history of the way that Europeans have treated us in this country and in the world in general, the fact that they have petting zoos with black people there, yes, they literally have places where people will come gawk at black people and pet them. Not just the Venus Hottentot shit. I'm talking about in recent times, they've done stuff like that. The simple fact that they have things like that going lets you know that they got everything that they want. They feel as if we're their bitch. So what more could they ask for? You gave them everything. So if you're not talking about taking your children out of the school system, not giving them your money, not giving them your service, joining their military, working for them, going to their churches, praying to their God that looks absolutely nothing like you, if you don't want to be under your own discipline as opposed to being disciplined by them, if you don't want to stockpile weapons and food to protect yourself and protect your family, build a black economy, etc., don't complain about when you see a black person dying on the news or whatever. Just go assimilate, go marry you a white person, fuck him and suck him off and shut the fuck up. Because you're not really about that life. You're not really about wanting to be about some real pro-black shit. I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter and promoting homosexuality. None of this stupid shit. I'm talking about really being about that life. You would have to control your own money, control your own destiny. Keep your children out of their school systems. Stay up out of their churches. All of these different things I mentioned in this video. If you're not about that life, go find you a white person, settle down, and get the fuck out of my face, because you're not real to me. But anyways, this is all my opinion. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Yes, there would have to be a massive divorce movement, the I divorce white people movement. That would be the only way to save you ninjas. You've been warned. You don't have to believe anything I said in this video though. Meat Magazine.